Hello everyone, this is Tim, and this is going to be it's from a different location. I was driving around before I was going to the gym, thinking of a place, maybe something different to film something, and this is what I came up with. It's a stairwell in a parking garage, so yeah, really not that exotic, I guess, but whatever. So the video I'm gonna put forward here, I guess, is I wanted to ask, so of all the jobs that you've had in your life, you know, going all the way back to cutting grass or, you know, helping out the neighbors, working at some fast food joint, you know, or your career now, or whatever that is, how has that affected your abilities, I guess, to run games, or how has it improved your GMing? Got some acoustics in the background there. I think that's a train, maybe? I don't know. But yeah, so I was thinking that for me, you know, some of the different jobs I've had, you know, I cut grass and stuff. I don't really think that affected anything other than my maybe work ethic, you know, putting more hours in, doing GM prep. Then I got into, you know, McDonald's, and I think that improved my speaking ability, which is valuable at the table. Dealing with difficult people, you know, I guess that's a good skill that you get from, you know, dealing with fast food drive-through lanes, and, you know, people who have coupons that are expired, and people who, you know, are hard to understand. And I think that kind of taught me patience too with some people. I guess another way, maybe it makes you kind of like hate people just in general, like, oh, please don't be so frustrating, just, you know, don't scream at me through the microphone. I don't know what it is, but I was just thinking that, you know, that affected me a little bit, you know, just dealing with the stress and, you know, dealing with having to make all kinds of special food orders and making sure you get them right, and then dealing with the consequences if you don't. You know, having some angry guy come in the store like, you know, you didn't add my pickles and I said extra pickles. So whatever. I worked as a, you know, a lunch person, a lunch lady, I guess you call it, whatever. And that was different too, because even though, like, I was at college, that's where I was the lunch lady. I noticed how people treated me differently. Like, I was a fellow student, but because I was serving them, they, you know, definitely had that, like, nose up, and you know, they were better than me, even though we were going to the same school, taking the same classes. But there's something about that. I don't know if the uniform is very, I don't know, it's not very good or whatever, but it just taught me about people. And I think maybe that's something too. Just, I did a lot of people watching, and sometimes when I think about NPCs or, you know, improvising something, I'll think about those people that I saw on the lunch line, you know? Someone needs a muffler. So what other jobs have I had? My current job, I work in a group home for, you know, clients with intellectual and developmental disabilities, and that's a challenging job, but I really like it. And it also has a lot of downtime, and I find that I use a lot of that downtime to work on, you know, settings or GM prep, reading books, that sort of stuff. So that helps my GMing abilities. I think it's taught me a lot of patience too. Maybe another thing it's taught me is that even with someone, if someone has, you know, certain difficulties, has a hard time dealing with people, you know, they're rough around the edges, that if you're patient with them, you'll get to see a side of them that a lot of people don't. You know, you'll get to you grow attached to them, and that's the kind of things that I've learned, you know, working in a job like that. I worked as a part-time supervisor at UPS, and that, I think, more than any job I've ever had, taught me things, you know, management styles, for instance. You know, I was that, you know, I started out, you know, trying to be a friend to everybody, and that works with certain personality types, and then other ones will take advantage of that and walk all over you. So that taught me that you gotta have, like, different gears or different styles, and not everyone is gonna work for any one employee. So, you know, you can't just be the nice fair guy all the time. Sometimes you have to, like, well, all right, well, you're not, you know, I gave you the benefit of the doubt, I gave you a chance, this is how you treated me, so okay, this is the other person that I have to be around you to, you know, to get what we have to get done. So, you know, because of production numbers and all that garbage. And middle management is just awful. Or I guess that's what I was the lowest level of management. Like the front lines. So you get it from the employees, and then you get it from your 6 bosses that are above you, which was frustrating. But again, it taught me stuff about people and how to deal with them. Anything else UPS teach me? Let me think. I don't know. I think it taught me a lot of give and take. Like, for instance, I had an employee who was a truck driver, and he got like 4 hours of sleep a day. It was ridiculous. So the only reason he was a UPS was to have health benefits at the time. So he would punch in and say, hey man, whenever you want to send me out of here, I'm good. You just send me. I don't care if it's a minute from now. And whenever I could, like if we had low volume at night or something, I would let him go. And he would always appreciate that. They like to move supervisors around from belt to belt, and they moved me away from that guy. And the next supervisor didn't do that. Didn't give him what he needed, and then he would he put more effort into stuff on the nights that he was there. He would work harder because he appreciated someone going out of their way to help him. Well, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. That sort of thing. And other supervisors just didn't get that, and I ended up being put back on that belt because no one else could run it for a long time. And then I had some other supervisors say that I ruined the employees. So I don't know. I gave them too much, or I was too nice to them, or I treated them like human beings or something. I don't know. It was there was an interesting experience. That was, out of all the jobs I've ever had, that's the one that I've hated the most. Just being a loader, though, I actually like that a lot, but I didn't really learn too much for how I run my games. I worked for a friend of mine who is actually a gaming company, and that experience wasn't that great. I don't ever recommend working for a friend, even at a gaming company, and think, oh, that'll be fun. You play games all the time. No, it's a business. You still got to make money. You got goals to meet and things to get done. And I just found that having a friend be my boss, he would just, I think he treated me worse. Let me think here. How can I phrase this? Oh, I know I was going to mess this up. So let's say I had an employee at UPS, and I was the supervisor, and he's like the worst employee I have. I treated that guy better than my friend treated me. It was awful. I expected so much more out of it. My expectations for the job were so high, but I'm getting derailed here. So what kind of jobs have you had, and can you think how that has affected the way you run games, maybe affected the way you play games? Has it given you fodder for your campaigns and sessions? I'd like to hear about it. Okay, everyone. Sorry for the background noise. Might not be the best location. I'll see you later.